They say Michael Jackson died of an accidental overdose. But if you look closely at his final 24 hours, you start to see something else. A man who was saying goodbye. From the strange way he hugged his dancers, to the final words he spoke to his director. It was almost as if he knew. How did a man who looked so alive, so powerful, and so ready to conquer the world end up dead in his bedroom just hours later? This isn't just a tragedy. It is a timeline of missed signals, fatal mistakes, and a clock that was ticking down, minute by minute. This is the final 24 hours of Michael Jackson. To understand the end, we have to understand the stakes. June 24th wasn't just another rehearsal. It was the culmination of months of grueling preparation. Michael was reportedly hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. This tour wasn't just a comeback. It was a lifeline. The weight of the world was on his shoulders. He had to perform. He had to be perfect. And he knew it. It is 10 p.m., June 24th. The Staples Center. Michael is 3 hours late. The crew, the dancers, the director Kenny Ortega, they are all waiting. There's a nervous energy in the room. Is he okay? Will he show up? But when he finally steps on stage, the worry vanishes. He isn't wearing his signature sequined glove or his fedora. He's wearing a suit jacket, a scarf, and layers of clothes despite the heat. He complains of being cold, a warning sign that perhaps his body was already struggling. But when the music starts, the physical frailty disappears. He isn't just walking through the moves, he is performing. Witnesses said he was glowing. He hugged his dancers. He laughed with the crew. He told them, we're going to take them on a journey. He performs, they don't care about us, stomping the ground with authority. He performs Thriller, moving with the same snap and precision that defined a generation. He ends the night singing Earth Song. It is a haunting performance. His voice is perfect. He stands center stage, arms outstretched, singing about the planet, about pain, about healing. It would be the last song Michael Jackson would ever perform. At midnight, the rehearsal wraps up. The energy is high. Michael is happy. He waves to his team. He leans out of his car window and says 3 words to Kenny Ortega. God bless you. Kenny Ortega would later say that Michael never said that. He usually said, I love you, or see you tomorrow. But that night, he said, God bless you. It felt final. It felt like a goodbye. Looking back, you have to wonder, did he know? Did he feel the clock ticking down? He gets into his black SUV, believing he is going home to rest for the biggest comeback in history. He doesn't know it's the last time he will ever see a stage. He doesn't know that the countdown has already begun. 1 a.m., June 25th. Michael arrives at his rented mansion in Holmby Hills, 100 North Carolwood Drive. It is a massive, cold estate. Outside, the gates are locked. Inside, the silence is deafening. But Michael's mind is not silent. The adrenaline from the show is pumping through his veins. The music is still playing in his head. This was his curse. For decades, Michael Jackson struggled with chronic severe insomnia. Not just I can't sleep insomnia, but a total inability to shut down his brain. He called it the rhythm. He said the rhythm wouldn't let him sleep. Waiting for him upstairs is Dr. Conrad Murray, a cardiologist. a man who was being paid $150,000 a month to ensure the King of Pop was healthy and ready for London. But tonight, Dr. Murray isn't acting like a doctor. He is acting like a dealer. 1:30 a.m. Michael is in his bedroom. The lights are dim. He begs for sleep. Murray gives him 10 milligrams of Valium, a standard sedative. It should help him relax, but it does nothing. Michael's tolerance is too high. His adrenaline is too strong. 2 a.m., 30 minutes later. Michael is still wide awake. He is pacing. He is anxious. Murray administers 2 milligrams of Ativan, another strong sedative. Michael waits. He tries to close his eyes, but the sleep doesn't come. 3 a.m. Another hour passes. The clock is taunting him. Murray administers 2 milligrams of Versed, a powerful benzodiazepine often used before minor surgeries to calm patients down. And still, Michael is awake. Imagine the panic rising in his chest. The sun is coming up. The birds are starting to chirp. Every minute that ticks by is a minute of sleep he is losing. He knows he has to be back at the Staples Center in the afternoon. He knows he has to do it all over again. The pressure of 50 sold-out shows is crushing him. He looks at his doctor, his eyes pleading, and says, "I need some sleep. I have to be ready. If I don't sleep, I can't perform." 5 a.m. Murray gives him another 2 milligrams of Ativan. 7:30 a.m. Murray gives him another 2 milligrams of Versed. By now, Michael Jackson has enough sedatives in his system to knock out a normal person for days. But he is still awake. He is chemically exhausted, but his brain is still firing. He is desperate. 10 a.m. The sun is fully up. The room is filled with daylight despite the curtains. Michael is exhausted, desperate, and in pain. He asks for the one thing he thinks will save him. The one thing that has worked before. He asks for his milk, Propofol. Propofol is not a sleep aid. It is not a sleeping pill. It is a powerful surgical anesthetic. It is meant to put you under for major surgery, like open heart surgery or a hip replacement. It works by shutting down the brain's activity. It turns off the lights. But it also depresses your breathing. It slows your heart. That is why, in a hospital, it is only administered by an anesthesiologist, with full monitoring equipment, oxygen tanks, and a crash cart ready in case the patient stops breathing. Dr. Murray knows this. He knows the dangers. He knows that giving propofol in a bedroom without proper monitoring is playing Russian roulette. But at 10:40 a.m., Dr. Murray makes the decision that changes history. He gives in to the pressure. He gives in to his client. He administers 25 milligrams of propofol intravenously. It works instantly. Michael finally closes his eyes. His breathing slows. He drifts off into a chemical coma. And then Dr. Murray does the unthinkable. He decides that Michael is stable. He decides that he can leave the room. He needs to make some phone calls. He needs to go to the bathroom. He leaves the most famous man on earth alone, unmonitored, under anesthesia, with no alarms, with no one to watch his chest rise and fall. Dr. Murray goes into another room. He spends 45 minutes on the phone. He calls his practice. He calls his girlfriend. He is chatting about everyday life, completely unaware that in the next room, the King of Pop is dying. 12 p.m. Murray finally hangs up the phone. He walks back into the bedroom. He expects to see Michael sleeping peacefully. Instead, he finds a nightmare. Michael is lying still. His eyes are open. His mouth is slightly agape. Dr. Murray touches him. His skin is warm, but he is not breathing. There is a faint pulse, but it is fading fast. Panic. Chaos. But instead of doing the one thing that could save Michael's life, calling 911 immediately, Murray begins a bizarre series of actions. He shouts for help, but not to the police. He calls Michael's personal assistant, Michael Amir Williams, and leaves a voicemail. "Call me right away. Call me right away." He doesn't say call 911. He tries CPR, but he does it on the soft bed. Any medical professional knows that CPR must be performed on a hard surface to be effective. On a soft mattress, the compressions are useless. He is essentially bouncing Michael on the bed. He yells for the chef. He yells for the security guard. Michael's children, Prince and Paris, hear the commotion. They run to the room. They see their father lying lifeless on the bed, Dr. Murray frantically pushing on his chest. Paris falls to her knees, screaming, "Daddy!" It is a scene of absolute horror. It isn't until 12:21 p.m., more than 20 minutes after Murray found him, that a security guard, Alberto Alvarez, finally makes the call. "He's not breathing! He's not breathing! He's not breathing! No, he's not breathing!" Paramedics arrive in minutes. They rush up the stairs. They find a chaotic scene. Dr. Murray is sweating, frantic. He doesn't tell the paramedics about the propofol. He lies. He says he just gave him a little sedative to help him sleep. This lie costs the paramedics valuable time. They treat him for a drug overdose, but they don't know what drug. They work on him for 42 minutes at the house. They try to intubate him. They pump drugs into his system to restart his heart. But there is no response. His pupils are fixed and dilated. They rush him to UCLA Medical Center. The ambulance screams through the streets of Los Angeles. Fans are already starting to gather. TMZ has broken the story. Michael Jackson rushed to hospital. The world is holding its breath. At the hospital, a team of the best doctors in the world is waiting. They try everything: the balloon pump, the pacemaker, epinephrine. They work on him for over an hour. But the timeline had run out hours ago. The damage to his brain from the lack of oxygen was irreversible. At 2:26 p.m., the words are spoken. The words that no one wanted to believe. Michael Jackson is dead. The news breaks. The internet crashes. Google thinks it is under a cyber attack because so many people are searching Michael Jackson. Twitter goes down. In Times Square, screens flash the news. In London, fans who were waiting for the tour are weeping in the streets. In just 24 hours, he went from the performance of a lifetime to a hospital bed. It was a tragedy of errors, pressure, and gross negligence. Dr. Conrad Murray would later be charged and convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The trial revealed the extent of the drug use, the lack of equipment, and the fatal mistakes made in that bedroom. He served 2 years in prison, but that doesn't bring Michael back. Michael Jackson left the Staples Center saying, "God bless you." He wanted to heal the world. He wanted to give his fans one last great show. And maybe, in the end, he finally found the rest he was so desperate for. But the silence he left behind, that will never be filled.